The Eagles already got their version of Micah Parsons. His name is Jihaad Campbell, and he does everything. Dallas still stinks. Yo, by the way, kick Dingbat here. It is amazing. It is amazing when you think about all the draft picks over the last 3 years on defense that the Eagles have had. I mean, it's amazing. Jalen Carter, Nolan Smith, you have Cooper DeJean Q, and now Jihaad Campbell. And there's still other guys I'm missing like Jalen Hunt. But you add Jihaad Campbell, and by all accounts, it looks like this dude could be one of the best guys out of everybody they've drafted. He has done everything. People talk about, should the Eagles trade for Micah Parsons? Should the Eagles trade for Micah Parsons? Hell no. They've got their version of Micah Parsons. His name is Jihaad Campbell, and he's everywhere. Everywhere on the field, okay? And we're going to talk about it in a second. And speaking of Micah Parsons, I'm just going to put this out there. I was actually thinking about this. And I think the best scenario for the Eagles is that Dallas keeps him. Because Dallas keeps him, they sign him to big money with CeeDee Lamb, Dak, and him, and the salaries they're making. It pretty much ends any chance they'll ever have at winning a Super Bowl in the next few years, okay? They're pretty much done because they don't draft well enough. They don't got enough on their roster to get over the top. So by actually signing Micah with the other two guys, Dallas really takes themselves out of really being a real contender for championships for the next 2, 3, 4 years. As where if they traded Micah, got a boatload of picks, they may be able to rebuild quicker than what they're going to do. They're going to sign him. They're going to go for 2, 3 years of being mediocre, being in purgatory, and then they're going to have to rebuild. So Dallas is about 7, 8 years away from even being mentioned into a real contender. So hopefully they keep him. That's what I want them to do. Now, I spoke enough about that stinky team and what would be best for the Eagles. Let's get to the injury report today. John McMullen had this. Will not practice. Zach Bond, back. A.J. Brown, hamstring. We got to keep this one an eye on. Hamstrings are one of those injuries that linger on. So he can't come back until he's 100% healthy. Otherwise, you could re-aggravate that. So we may not see A.J. Brown practice for the rest of the week. Who knows? Lewis Cine, hamstring. Montrell Johnson, he's having a good camp, hamstring. Terrence Marshall, knee. Mac McWilliams, quad. Ben Van Sumeren, ankle. And then late on the list of did not practice was Trevor Keegan. He had a back injury. Now limited. Jihaad Campbell, shoulder. Charlie Hewlett, neck. E.J. Jenkins, hamstring. Andrew Makuba, shoulder. Devontae Smith, back. Nolan Smith, concussion. So Makuba, Devontae Smith, and Nolan Smith all returned back to practice. That's a really, really good thing. Now, when it comes to the Eagles and it comes to practice today, first of all, we didn't have as many updates as we usually get. I don't know if it was because Sunday or not. But here's some things that we saw. One, Adoree Jackson once again started at corner. So there's 5 days in which Adoree Jackson has started at corner, 3 for Ringo. I'm saying, and I'm going to continue to say it, don't get caught up in that. I really believe the Eagles I think they're treating it like the Nakobe Dean situation with Devin White last year. Devin White started every practice. Nakobe Dean didn't. He didn't even really get first team reps. And then week 1 comes, Nakobe Dean is inserted. Because why? Because Vic had no say in Devin White signing. That was purely Howie. Just like Adoree Jackson signing is purely Howie. I think Vic Fangio is doing his due diligence to give him a try. So don't put a lot of stock into who starts more days, okay? Because I think the Eagles already know what they've seen and then what they got in in Ringo. However, even though Adoree Jackson started, he got beat deep by Jahan Dotson. Hurts overthrew him. Should have been a 45-yard touchdown. Ringo had a nice breakup today. Actually wasn't bad today. So he had a nice breakup in 11 on 11s. And then Eli Ricks continues to make noise. Had a nice breakup in 7 and 7. And I'm really waiting. When I'll say, okay, maybe there's something to, the Eagles or how they feel about Ringo, if Eli Ricks starts getting first team reps. That's what I want to see. As of now, right now, I haven't really heard Eli Ricks getting first team reps on 11 on 11. But we can't make any, real judgments on who's doing bad. To me, it's very hard to judge who's doing bad. When guys are doing well, but it's harder to judge when guys doing bad because you're not really sure what they're working on or what they're being asked. So there's a lot that goes into it. But that's going to be a big battle. To me, that's a big, big battle. And Mukumba, he's losing first-team reps right now. He lost first-team reps, didn't really get any, and mainly because he missed time. That's the problem when you miss time. So he's now behind the 8 ball. If you remember, first week of practice, he was getting the first-team reps, but then he got hurt. And there you go. He kind of loses it, Uche had another good day as pass rusher. He's really coming along and stepping up the last few days. I think the Eagles are very deep in the rotation, okay? Also, we had a Ty Robinson sighting. Ty Robinson went out and got a sack. It was against the 13 line, but this is the first day where we really heard him do something. Ty Robinson did talk last week at the press conference, and he said he was really learning, some things in the NFL and trying to get off the blocks, things that he hasn't had he never had a problem with in college. So I think my point is with him is you got to just give him time and see. But this was the first day that he showed something. Also, I want to say this about the offensive side of the ball. Jalen Carter said that he thinks Tyler Steen is going to be really, really good. He thinks he's a hell of an offensive lineman, and he's going to be a really good starter for the Eagles. Tyler Steen seems like he's starting to play better and better. According to Stoutland, too, who said that, first couple days were slow at camp, but he's really starting to turn it on. From everything we're hearing, another strong day for him as well. So things are going good. And I'll bring this up too, right, real quick, because I always think this is funny. But Jalen Hurts training camp stats for day 8. According to Elliott Shore-Parks, he says Jalen Hurts was 14 of 18, 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, but only gets a grade of a B-. I mean, if you're 14 of 18, you only get a B-? I don't know. He says Hurts had a pretty nondescript day on Sunday. Wasn't great, wasn't bad. He was pretty down the middle with only handfuls of plays standing out. His best throw was a pass to Goddard down the left sideline. 14-18 isn't a bad day, but stats and keeping statistics and passing statistics in training camp is always so funny to me. I love it. Now, here's to me the thing that stood out in practice the most. This is what I'm most impressed about hearing today of everything that we've heard so far, right? And things always come out after I do the video, but from what we got during practice, this to me is amazing. This to me is like, oh yeah, Jihaad Campbell. Jihaad Campbell is a menace. I keep saying it. He is going to be a big problem for a lot of teams, okay? This one tweet tells you so much about what they think of him, how they're going to use him, and it's exciting, right? Here's what Martin Frank wrote. Jihaad Campbell lined up at the edge, and while he's lined up at the edge, he drops into coverage while covers Saquon in the flat, okay? Hurts threw deep to Jahan Dotson. It was incomplete. That was a pass that he had beat Dory Jackson on. Hurts just overthrew him. But the next play, Jihaad Campbell goes back to linebacker, off the ball linebacker, breaks up a pass over the middle to Aniyah Smith. Now, why I like this is because it's really telling you how they want to use Jihaad Campbell. they're going to use him everywhere. They're going to use him very similar to how I would say the Cowboys used Micah Parsons early in his career. He wasn't purely rushing the passer early in his career. He was also doing other things, dropping into coverage at times, and they moved him around. That's what Jihaad Campbell is going to do. He also got to the quarterback today on a sack, which would have been a sack on a blitz. So they blitzed him, they line him up at the edge, they keep him as an off-the-ball linebacker. This is how they're going to use him. And he, frankly, is looking at a guy, I think if they use him, and I expect him to start, he literally has Defensive Rookie of the Year potential. Like, look, I like to play numbers and odds of betting different things and all that. I'm betting Jihaad Campbell is Defensive Rookie of the Year. I think it's a decent bet, but this excites me so much because if you can use him everywhere, imagine if you can use him at the edge rusher sometimes, and then you could put Nakobe Dean back in there, right? I think it goes a long way. His ability to cover, his athleticism, and his size. I think you've got a situation where people are like, we need to go out and get Micah Parsons. Hell no, you don't. You've got him right here, and his name is Jihaad Campbell. Use him. Vic knows exactly what to do, and we're in good hands. That's pretty much it for practice today. As far as what I got out of it and what we heard, like I said, it was kind of quiet in the updates, but it was Sunday. And also, we'll be practicing again tomorrow. We'll be practicing on Tuesday. Then we'll have a walkthrough Wednesday, and then Thursday we have the game, which, of course, I will be streaming. Can't wait for. With that said, take care. Talk to you later, of course. Don't be a dingbat. Remember, it's Howie Vision, baby. We're all just living in it. And I'm worried about Mark. I'm worried about Mark Holmes. I gotta tell you. Did you hear his newest theory on why Micah Parsons and Dallas is going through all this stuff? He's now saying that Jerry Jones went to Micah and said, hey, let's make pretend we're fighting in public. That way, we can steal all the press from the Hall of Fame game. Now, I'm not saying that Jerry Jones isn't a media junkie that doesn't want his stuff out there. I know, I get it. However, if they think that this is some fake thing, they're crazy. I actually think McLaurin thing is business. I think that the Dallas thing with Parsons, I think that's personal. And I think the Cowboys got a big problem. But please don't trade him. We want to be sure that you're not a contender for the next 8 years. Denzel Washington out. That's all, folks.
The brother screwed us.